We are here at day 3 of the 16th annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival in downtown beautiful Sylacauga, Alabama at Central Park. We are joined with Marble Festival volunteer, one of the volunteers, Randy Clark. Randy, thank you for joining us today, and being a volunteer, who are other volunteers helping you today?
Well, I have Patty Peters, and I also have Robert Caldwell. They're helping out. There's 3, maybe 4 of us. You can tell us. We got the bright belly yellow vest on, and we're here to greet all the visitors, give them a little history of our pure white marble here in Sylacauga, and we're also going to introduce them to the sculptors, and we're going to send them to some places such as the old post office down by the museum. We're going to send them to the museum, and we're also going to send them to our beautiful library where we have 50 pieces over there inside, and I think we have 6 pieces outside.
Now, earlier today, you did a marble tour at the observation site, the Imerys Gantt Quarry observation site, Marietta Harris site. Talk a little bit about what did you do there with the tour group and things that you talked about.
Well, what I do over there is kind of give them a history of our wonderful observation point out there, and that is the original hole out there that first started everything back in the early 1800s. And we have visitors to come out there, and I kind of keep the sculpting and the library and everything over here in the Central Park, but out there I give them a history on what I put together in my presentation of the history of the hole starting way back in the early 1800s. And then I tell them what happened in 1840 and come on up through the 1900s. And then I turned it over to Mr. Calvin Cook, which works for Imerys and the HR department, and he took them on a tour through what happens today out at the quarries. So,
yes, now I was there to get a look at some of the other actual active sites with Mr. Cook and the other members of the safety team and HR department, and it's pretty expansive. You're standing at the top of the hole, you look down and you're like, is that a model car?
right.
And you mentioned that you used to do some work out there, not necessarily for Imerys or the quarry at the time, but what did you used to do a long time ago out for the quarries?
Well, I'm a retired pipe fitter and pipe welder, and I worked for a couple of construction companies out there. And at the time, there was 3 quarries. You had Marietta Harris, Thompson Wyman, and Georgia Marble. I actually worked at all 3 of them, but we did outside work. You know, the people that worked at the quarry, they got their own job, and we made more stuff for them to do. And I've got some history out there. At that time, there was 3 different marble quarry holes. Nowadays, there's one gigantic one, but they managed to salvage the original, because the reason that they didn't finish dynamiting in the original is there's a lot of dolomite in it. As if you don't know, our vein is actually 36 miles long, it's 1.5 miles wide, and it's 400 foot deep. So they moved on to the next portion, and I also, while I was out there, I give them a history lesson on what used to be our Gantt quarry and our Gantt neighborhood. Very interesting, and we managed to salvage that post office down here behind the museum. So if anybody gets the chance, it's open. We have it open all through, I think, the museum hours. It's open, okay. And you get to go in there and you see another part of history.
Okay. Well, thank you, Randy, for joining us today here at day 3 of the 16th annual Sylacauga Magical Marble Festival. This is Robert Pearson Jr. reporting for WOIL and WOTM TV.